So in this lecture, we will see t-test, and t-test is in three forms. First is one sample t-test, second is two sample t-test, paired sample, and third is two sample t-test for independent sample. So first we will see this one sample t-test, and we have one example of one sample t-test in which for the given sample of 10 students, test whether or not the mean marks of a student is equals to 14 if the level of significance alpha equals to 0.05. This means we can say level of significance as 5% also. This is 5%. And we have data of 10 students from 1 to 10 and their marks in a particular subject. So we can understand this question with the help of another related example. Suppose I am teaching this subject with stats and I have given an instruction कि आप लोगों को 14 marks secure करें. So this means हर बच्चा तो 14 सिक्योर नहीं करेगा, हर स्टूडेंट सिक्योर नहीं करेगा, कोई 14 से ज़्यादा मिलेंगे, किसी को 14 से कम मिलेंगे. So we can consider all these marks as 100 or not. So we have collected data for 10 students and some one student 11 marks, second student 14 marks and so on. So now in this case, first we will write null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So first alternative and null hypothesis. In null hypothesis, always we will use equal symbol, and equal symbol for standard value. Standard value is what? 14. 14 is target marks, mean marks, population average marks, we can say. So in t-test, always we will consider first null hypothesis H0 as equal symbol. And second thing, we will decide this symbol. This symbol may be equals to, this symbol may be less than, this symbol may be greater. So after exam, you will see marks always not greater than 14 or not lesser than 14 always. This may be greater, this may be lesser. This means these both situations, this and this. So we will not write any one of them. We will write unequal symbol because this may be greater or this may be lesser. That's why we are writing mu is equal to 40. So now we will follow procedure to find this testing. So first we will write hypothesis. In hypothesis there are two parts. First is null hypothesis and second is alternative hypothesis. And second part, we will find t calculated value by using formula. And third, we will find t tabulated value from table. And fourth is what? Fourth is comparison. We will see this structure to test this data. So first, hypothesis, null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, and this is two-tail test. Why we are saying this two-tail test? Because we have this data in this form. Why this is two-tail test? Because this mu is middle value, mean. Now marks may be more than this 14 and less than this 14. So that's why there are two tails. This is left hand tail of distribution. This is right hand tail of distribution. So marks may be distributed in left hand tail and right hand tail, both the directions. That's why we are saying this is two tail test. Now second point, we will find t calculated value. For t calculated, we have this formula of t. We need to find t using this formula for one sample t-test, in which this x bar is mean of sample. Just like we have given this first sample and we can add all these x values and we can find x bar. This x bar is 12.5. And now second term is what? Second term is mu. Mu is population mean, which is equals to 14, as I have given instruction to secure 14 max. Now this small s is sample standard deviation. Sample standard deviation means standard deviation of these 10 values. And we will find sample standard deviation by using this formula. S is equal to summation under root summation x minus x bar square divided by n minus. If this is population mean, then we will use only n, as this is sample standard deviation. This is not population standard deviation, this is sample standard deviation, so we will use n minus. So first task is to calculate x bar. X bar is 12.5, already clear. Now for this formula you need x minus x bar column, so this is x minus x bar column. Then square of this column is x minus x bar square. So we will get this value as x minus x bar square. Now we will put in this formula, then value of s is 1.0. Now we can find t by using this formula. So we have, this is t equals to x bar minus mu upon s upon root n. So x bar is 12.5 and mu is 14, s is 1.08 and number of observation n equals to 10. So you will get t value as minus 4.39. So this is second task. This is first one, this is second, and third is t tabulated value. So for t tabulated value, we need two things. First is degree of freedom. As there are 10 observations, so 10 minus 1 is degree of freedom 9. And this is level of significance already given, alpha is equal to 0.05. So on the basis of these two things, degree of freedom and level of significance, we will find t tabulated value from t table. So this is t table, and in this t table degree of freedom, this is 9, and for two-tail, this is two-tail test. For two-tail test at 0.05, this is the value of t tabulated. At 9 degree of freedom, for two-tailed 0.05, for this is 2.262. So this value is 2.262. This is t tabulated value. So this t tabulated value is 2.262. Now we will understand this concept of comparison. Next part is comparison. So t value is 2.262. So as this is given 5% level of significance, so this reason is for 5%, alpha equals to 5, and this is two-tail test. So we will split this alpha into two parts, alpha by 2 and alpha by 2. So alpha by 2 this side and alpha by 2 this side. This means this is 0.25 and this is 0.25. So this is rejected reason. So tabulated value is 2. This tabulated value is 2.262. If we will consider this in negative direction, so this is minus 2.262. This center, at this center location, t equals to 0, and in this direction t equals to positive value, and in this direction t equals to negative value. In this direction t is negative. So your calculated value is minus 4.39 and tabulated value is 2.262. So if we will see existence of this value, this calculated t, so you will see this point is 0, this is minus 1, this is minus 2, and this location is minus 2.262. And in this direction you will see this point. So this point comes under this rejection reason. So rejection of what? Rejection of H0. This means we will write as t calculated is in rejected reason. So the null hypothesis H0 is rejected. Hence H1 is selected, which means mu not equals to 40. This means what? If value of t calculated lies in this region, so we can say H0 is accepted. But this value lies in this rejected region, that's why we will say H0 is rejected. And H0 is what as per assumption? So H0 is this. So this means this is rejected. As this rejected, so we will consider this is accepted. अगर ये नहीं है तो फिर ऐसी situation. Clear? So main question is what? Main question is what? Test whether or not the mean marks of a student is equals to 40. So we can't consider this group of student as equal marks equals to 40. So mean marks of a student are not equals to 40. So this is what? This is t-sample test for t-test for one sample.